My sobby minion, baby.
I'm having a really bad day.
It happens.
Hello breeders, readers, and everyone in between. It's a beautiful day to make a science baby.
Today we are talking about transfer. Here we go. So essentially we'll be covering the lead up to transfer in our personal experiences, during and after. Also our personal experiences. We can't speak for other people going through IVF, but might be relatable for some people, might not. Only way to find out to tell our story. So leading up to transfer, we start with the cycle. We have to contact our fertility clinic to let them know that we've started a cycle. So we call them on day 1, which is when you get your period and your heaviest flow is before 12 o'clock that day. You look so mopey.
I've been having literally
the face is just so slowly melting.
The past 2 days I've been really overstimulated.
Yeah.
I just want to cry.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. Very busy. There's a lot going on. So, yeah, day 1 of your cycle is literally the heaviest point of your period before 12 o'clock that day. So, for most people, everyone's different. For your regular period, you'll kind of have the light first day that lets you know that you're going to get your period, and then heavier after that. So as long as your heavy flow has started before 12 midday, that is classed as day 1. You'll call and notify your clinic. Again, talking personal experience, it's just easier to say you.
And then they will activate your protocol, which would be the tablets that you start taking on day 1.
Yes. So the tablets that I've been put on, a lot of people like to take their supplements as well. So things like Elevate, or some fertility clinics have their own brands of Elevate sort of concoctions. But I take 1 tablet for the first 4 days of estrogen, and that's 2 milligrams a day. And then after those 4 days, I'll take 2 tablets of 2 milligrams a day for another 4 days. And then I'll start taking 3 tablets of 2 milligrams a day for the foreseeable pregnancy so far.
And those tablets help maintain your uterine lining.
Yes. So that'll help keep things going.
And then day 12, after like 12 days of your cycle, you will then go get a lining scan. So we went day 12 to get a lining scan. They said Megan's lining was perfect. And then you wait until it's up to the clinic really to say when transfer will happen. It will happen within at least 2 to 3 days after, depending on what day your lining scan was. Ours was on a Friday, so then we would then have to wait until obviously the next week. So wait over the weekend and then go in for a transfer that next week.
Yeah. So when you're going for your lining scan, they tell you if your endometrium, so your uterine lining, they'll tell you whether it's thick enough or not. If it's not, then they might up your meds or give you different meds.
And then you come back for another
thicken
scan.
it further. You come back for another scan, which is what happened in my first cycle. and then you go from there. They'll tell you when to start your progesterone. You've got different options on how you take that progesterone. I think one form, don't quote me on this, one form is kind of like a jelly bean
Not
style
a jelly
sort of
bean.
thing that you
do not eat that.
You insert it
vaginally.
Was it vaginally? Yeah, vaginally. And so don't know, haven't used those ones. The ones I use is quite uncomfortable. It's a vaginal gel. And so I have to use those twice a day, one in the morning, one at night. And so by using that thickens your lining. So while that thickens your lining, the estrogen is keeping that lining.
Mm-hmm.
So they're both working together, even though they are tearing you apart. But hey, gotta do what you gotta do.
So both of those are both hormones that are naturally produced during pregnancy. So with the transfer, your embryo is at whatever stage it is frozen at. So it could be a day 3 freeze or a day 5 freeze. In our case, it was a 5-day blastocyst. So the embryo is at 2 weeks and 5 days at the stage of transfer. So with having those medications in place, it's basically telling your uterus that you're already pregnant, so that when transfer happens, it helps support that for a successful or maybe not successful transfer.
Next step, after kickstarting your medication, then you'll set up for transfer after your lining scan, and then comes the fun part. So going
transfer day.
Yep, you get up to transfer day. You have to drink a lot of water, and you're not allowed to relieve yourself. So for the sake of visibility, you have to have a full bladder. So by having a full bladder, it makes everything more visible through the ultrasound machine. So the ultrasound at this stage is external so that they have room to do the transfer procedure.
And also to kind of map out where exactly they are. So it helps with not only visibility for where your uterus is, but you can also see where the ultrasound probe is and where they would be placing your embryo.
Yes. So they set up your ultrasound machine, which is super pleasant when you literally have something else pressing on your bladder. And then they will insert the dreaded duckbill. Yep, that's great. Husbands, if you don't know about it, ask your wife and she'll tell you she doesn't like it. They'll insert that, and from there they'll put in a catheter. Putting in the catheter, they've got the visibility from the ultrasound machine, so your doctor will be looking at the screen, making sure that he's putting the catheter in the right place. So he'll move that through, line that up with the lining of your endometrium. Endometrium, that's the word. They'll line it up with your endometrium, and then from there, the scientist will bring out your embryo and drop it into the catheter. So they drop that through the catheter, goes into your endometrium.
Transfer's done.
That's it. Transfer's done. And then the doctor walks away so that you can do the walk of shame from the chair to the bathroom. And you very quickly go to the bathroom so that the doctors don't know that that's what you're doing. Even though they know, you do it anyway. Put your bottoms back on. And you leave.
Since so far with our transfers, I haven't actually been able to be present in the room during it due to COVID and all of the lovely restrictions that COVID brings. So sadly, I haven't been able to be present for those precious moments, especially, the feeling of not being involved.
I mean, it's a little bit awkward when your partner's not present during conception.
So I mean, I myself, I am a very emotional person.
Anyone who knows her knows that.
So to not be present for those moments, it's quite emotional for me. But I'm so thankful that my partner records, transfers, like during it. So I'm able to at least
Feel like
see
it
it.
is.
Yeah. So after transfer, you want to kind of just relax.
You mellow out.
Relax.
You don't do anything stupid.
Relax for the rest of the day, or relax for the rest of the afternoon, depending on what time your transfer is. Just relax.
Don't physically exert yourself.
No, you definitely don't want to, raise your heart rate at any stage, especially.
They say not to raise your heart rate for 7 days after transfer.
Yes, for at least 7 days, do not elevate your heart rate. If you have an annoying partner, they need to be on their best behavior so they don't raise that. I struggle with that because I'm an annoying person, and that's just
you're a diva.
That's my personality. I just have annoying traits. So
it's not annoying traits. They're tempered traits.
So yeah, no elevation in heart rates, no extreme temperatures. So if you like to have a lobster shower, you don't anymore.
And if you don't understand what the term of a lobster shower is, it means you have a very, very hot shower right until you're getting out of the shower with red skin. Which are the showers I like. Which is really sad because it makes it feel like every shower that isn't a lobster shower is cold.
So you definitely don't want to have those things. You don't want to overheat yourself. This one likes to be warm all the time. I'm
cold-blooded. I have to be warm.
And I'm the complete opposite. I need at least a fan going while I'm under the blankets. During winter, I love the cold. I love the cold. So, yeah. Don't overheat yourself.
Another thing is, same as through pregnancy, avoid ibuprofen.
Mm-hmm.
So things like Nurofen and those sorts of things. Paracetamol, we've been told, is fine. We have a little ritual. It's an old wives' tale, and personally, we like wives' tales. So, after every transfer so far, we've gone and gotten some salty Macca's chips.
So the old wives' tale is that salt helps with implantation, which is why we don't have an issue with going to Macca's and getting chips after it. It's just a really good excuse just to get them. So, yeah.
Pretty much.
And now you will wait 2 weeks after transfer.
You keep taking your estrogen and progesterone. That does not stop. We'll be able to tell you more later, but I don't think that stops until you're close to 10 or 12 weeks.
Mm-hmm. It depends on the case, really. So they could have a look at your scans. Given a positive pregnancy test, they will book you in for a scan, on week 6, and they'll have a look. They could determine then, okay, you need to take these tablets and this gel for this amount of time. So you could just be on that for a few more weeks, or you could be on it for
longer, shorter.
Yep.
You don't know.
It goes
That's what the doctor's for.
Case to case basis.
Yeah. So straight after transfer, you're officially pupo, which is pregnant until proven otherwise. Your doctor will choose when, your doctor or nurses in the clinic will choose when you're getting your blood test. So for us, it's normally been around
the 11th day,
11th or so, anywhere between the 10th and the 14th day will be the first blood test. So with the first blood test, if that comes back with a positive result, to a rise in your HCG,
which is the pregnancy hormone.
Yes, the pregnancy hormone.
For those who don't know.
2 days after that blood test, you'll get another one to confirm the numbers are still rising. And then from then, they'll either order more blood tests or you'll
book in
for your first scan, which is normally a lot earlier than people who conceive naturally would get a scan, because you are tracking every step of your pregnancy through IVF. So it's a case-to-case basis for each person, as we quite often say, as to whether you go straight onto the scan or you go for more bloods. Us personally, we've had to go for more bloods. Unfortunately, this was when the miscarriage happened. So the bloods dropped very slowly, and
quite a grueling process.
Yes.
Because you're getting your blood tests every second day to watch them rise, and then to then have to watch them come back down had to be probably the worst part of the experience itself. So that is pretty hard. But
I think for transfer, that's it.
Pretty much it. Yeah,
That's what happens when you get clinically impregnated.
Precisely.
So that's it. That's it for transfer. That's been our experience so far. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. In case you haven't noticed, we have no line. We'd rather be asked the questions to be able to answer it. And if we can't answer it, we'll do our best to find an accurate answer for you.
Absolutely.
So thank you for listening to us babble on again.
As always.
And hopefully we've been helpful. So I guess for now, Hooroo
and Toodle Pip.